Oh, yeah. This is such an honor to have you on the show. Thank you so much. For people that don't recognize you, who the hell are you?
Yeah, who the hell am I? I'm Thomas, and I'm happen to be the lead singer of the band called Therion. That's who I
It's
am.
such an honor. That's who
Thank you.
you are. And it's an honor because I'm a huge fan of the band since the beginning. I discovered you guys in the 90s and I saw the evolution of that project. And it's crazy when you think about it. We're going to talk
Yeah.
about the new records, but let's get in the past. When you create something as strong as a symphonic band with a lot of influence, trash, a lot of black metal, there's so much influence in Tyrion. Is it hard because the vision is big, but when you start it up, you have so much. It's little. You don't have any money. You don't have a symphonic orchestra to be on the records. Was it frustrating at the beginning when you have that vision for the band?
Well, it was. I was not in the band when that started, but I spoke a lot to Christopher about it, and it was a kind of a thing that came very natural to him. He wasn't trying to be a pioneer or something in symphonic rock, but he became that. And he always walked his own ways. And I remember when they created the album Theli, for example, people thought that he was crazy. You know, who does this? Who you can't do this? Yes, I can. He say, I just did, and it became a huge success, and the rest is history.
And you joined, I think, somewhere in 2009, if I'm right.
Pardon me.
You joined in the mid 2009, I think you joined the band.
2007, I joined.
2007.
Yeah.
So the band have a kind of great course, but I think that when you join the band, it gives a second live and it brings so much because of the experience you got and it kind of felt naturally. Was it the case for you when you joined the band, or was it really hard and you have to learn the song and have
Yeah. I mean, of course, I had to learn the songs, but I remember how it was. It was I was in the kitchen and I had a phone call, and it was Christopher Johnson who called. I didn't know him by in that time. So he presented his, I'm Christopher Johnson. I'm from a band called Therion, and I was friend with Mats, who was singing there. We have been doing a lot of stuff together, and he told me that Mats is quitting. Oh, really? Yeah, 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 yeah. And we have a world tour plan. Do you want to go? And I said, well, I need to listen to the band first to see what it's all about. And he was like, you haven't heard us? I was like, no. And that was an awkward silence for 30 seconds. No, but and the next day I had the whole catalog of CDs in my mail sent with express post. And the first album I took out was the Gothic Kabbalah one because it was the first one in the pile. And I put it on and I listened to half a song and said, this is great stuff. This I really want to do. So I called to Christopher and said, hey man, I'm in. When are we going? And the way he is very pragmatic and direct. Yeah, yeah, we have the first gig in like 2 or 3 weeks at Wacken. You know, I said that's a real good warming up gig for me. Thank you. So he sent me the set list, and I was just thrown into it. And I mean, it's big shoes to fill up for such a singer as Mats. He's great, and the fans love him. So it took a while for me to win them over. But that's okay.
Yeah, because
Uh,
it's a weird situation to be at because you love the guy and you have to take his job, but in a
yeah,
way, it's not like it's something that you've been part of because you were not in the conflict in the band at that time, and the reason is not on your shoulders. So you arrive, and what you want to do is do that challenge because it's a challenge for a singer, and
it
it's
is.
not a neat challenge, but it really felt natural when we listened to the record after and the show you did, and I think the fans just were overwhelmed how
Yeah,
great it was.
most of them has been very positive. Most of them, I have to say. but still, you know, some fans, they think that when a band uh, employs a new singer, they think of him as a copy of the previous one, and that's very rarely a good idea. If you look at, for example, Queen now, they have Adam Lambert as a singer. He
Yes.
doesn't sound like Freddie, but I saw an interview with Roger Taylor. If we wanted somebody that sounds like Freddie, there are thousands of copies of Freddie out there, but that's not what we want to do. We want a singer that comes with his point of view and his twist to things, you know, and that's what I'm trying to do.
And I think it's the situation that happened, to a lot of bands. So, a lot of people know it can happen. We're in 2021, things go
Mhm.
so fast. And when you're in a band, you're in a family, and it's like the family.
That's
People
true.
divorce. It's kind of normality now. So, I think that people are way more aware that it can happen. Of course, there's always fans, that will say, no, they change. I don't want to follow that anymore. But
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
most of the singer that been in that situation say the same thing. It's a challenge. I spoke with the singer of Sepultura, and it was hard to fit the shoes of the first singer, which is was the main spirit of the band. But he
Yeah,
did, and now they're more powerful than ever. And
yeah,
fans,
sure.
they have new fans, they have more fans, and that's the thing. I think with Therion, it's way more bigger than back in the days. It's people all over the world know about you guys. And it was not the case when I discovered you guys. It was the new thing.
Yeah,
Remember, I bought the CD on HMV, and back in the days, you could, if you don't like the records, you could like have a refund if you don't like it in 2 weeks. It's just
yeah,
before people ripping music. So
yeah.
I bought the CD like not knowing what I'm gonna be in, and it was so great. And it's cool to
Cool.
see that what I listened back in the days is just more stronger now with the new record.
Yeah, I mean, with this new record, we sat down. Well, we spoke in the phone actually, and said that should we make a new record? Yeah, we should make a new record, and let's go back now to uh, uh, to to back home and make a normal Therion record again, because we done opera before and a French cover album and stuff. And yeah, we agreed to that. So we looked back into the albums of Lemuria and Sirius B, that era, sort of. And we were not trying to copy it, but we were trying to capture the spirit of those songs, the core of it, so to speak, and take that into 2021. And I think we came pretty close.
It really worked. We felt that those songs, there's a lot of work behind that, but the structure of the song, it's a whole thing. You listen to the
Yeah.
record, you cannot skip a song. It's really listening to the whole thing. It's really an experience, a lot of emotion involved. And it's a great record. I mean, it's soon to say it's the best, but it's a step, another step for Tyrion. Was it
Absolutely. Yeah.
hard to write it? With the time, is it more easy now to create than back in the days because of the experience, or it's still a rough thing to do for you?
Well, it's hard in a way because you don't never really know what you are doing until you have the final product in your hand. That's also the charm of it. But we were sitting because we were starting to write exactly before the pandemic started. And Christopher was sitting in Malta and I was sitting here in Spain. And we were sending files forth and back. And then I don't know how much we wrote, but then the pandemic started. And here in Spain, we had such a hard restrictions. So you could basically go to the supermarket and go out with the trash alone. That was it. That was it. So you didn't have anything else to do than sit and write here in the studio. So, and that was what Christopher did as well. So we sent the files forward and back. What do you think about this? Can we use this for something? Nah, take away that ending. The amount of terabytes that are sent through our computers must be some kind of a record. But here
But
we
it's
are. And and then we record. The recording process was also different because we had to record in 8 different countries.
Yeah.
But with the technology today, it works, so the only
It's
thing you
crazy.
miss is that, yeah, the only thing you miss is that direct conversation you can have in a normal recording session, that you had to skip, but it works.
Yeah, and the tap on the shoulder when you did a good job, like thank you for vocal. That's amazing, Thomas.
Yeah, I had to stand like this,
But it's great that you took that time. There's some band I spoke with. They're just like they're dead end. It's just like I'm watching Netflix, not doing anything. But you took that time to create something, and I think it's the positive thing about being in that situation. It's that you took something negative and you bring it into positivity by creating
Totally.
something that people gonna love.
Oh, totally. I have been more creative during this pandemic than ever because I'm trying to keep myself busy all the time because I like it. I do Netflix too, and I eat absolutely too much. But I work a lot. I write a lot, and I'm doing also session works for other bands and musicians. Like choirs for not only metal, for pop as well.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's another thing I love about that project is that you're really open-minded people. It's not just a narrow thing. We just listen to metal because when you do
Oh.
something as big as that, you have to be kind of aware of almost everything. Because, like I said, there's a lot of style involved in that, and a lot of melody that you can find in pop
Yeah.
music. And
Mhm.
it's really interesting because I'm a guy that listens to every kind of music. I think that.
Yeah, me too.
Uh,
Me
you
too.
know,
I'm exactly the same. We had that conversation. We were sitting in the tour bus, me and Christopher, and we were saying to each other, "Can you imagine if the fans saw what we were listening to now and digging?" I don't remember what it was, but it was totally out of the what people have. People thinks that we're sitting in leather pants at home and listening to Slayer all days, but it's not like that.
It's true. It's true. And I'm sure if you go to fans' house, you will be surprised too.
Yeah, I remember when I was a kid. In my room, I had the whole room was wallpapered with Kiss posters everywhere. But I had one poster in the middle of the room with ABBA, and they were standing posing together with a very famous skier that we had. And every time a friend come home, I was running into my room to take that picture down before they saw it. So
Yeah, we
those
were
things
born.
couldn't come out.
No, because we were born in a time that you really define yourself through the music you listen. It was
Yeah,
easy
yeah, yeah.
just by the way people were dressing to know what they're listening to. Now
Sure.
it's another thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Absolutely.
So it's cool that people are way more open-minded. And I think that it brings more people to like metal because they understand that there's a lot of style involved in metal, a lot of folk, Celtics. And in
Absolutely.
Europe, you have such 10 years ahead from us here in Canada and the USA. You always have that song that, 2 years later, a lot of bands try to copy.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, I understand what you mean. But if you see, since I had time to watch Netflix, I was seeing the Vikings,
Yeah.
and I was like, they all of them are looking like rock stars. So of course that music that they had back then, or that we think that they had back then, fits very good together with metal when you mix it. I love when people make fusions of different styles, and I'm trying to do that as well. If you listen to the last song on the album, that's called 10 Chords of Dio, or Dio. I don't know how to pronounce it actually. Um, that song is written with Chinese inspiration. So you hear real Chinese instruments in the background and stuff like that. And I love to do that. I love it.
Yeah, and you're really strong in China. There's so many fans out there. They're crazy about metal, and It's
They
crazy
are.
when when they see something, they reproduce it, but like perfectly, not like trying, just it perfectly like the same. They're so like dedicated and intelligent people.
Totally. It's when I came there the first time, it's a real experience, man. It's nothing. If you go to a restaurant, nothing is translated into English. Nothing. And if it is, it's a comedy because it's so bad translated. So you actually look at the menu and you don't know what you're ordering because the waiter cannot. You can't speak with the waiter. So you just point, try that. So but the fans are amazing there, and they know the lyrics perfectly. Because I see people when I sing, and I see that guy knows every word, for example. And then he comes to me after the gig to meet, and it turns out he doesn't speak English at all, but he knows the lyrics. So
You
it's a
always
fantastic country to see.
and too.
Pardon me?
That's another thing. Terry and I always been close to the fans. You never play the game of we're big, so we don't have time to meet anybody's. And the fans are amazing. I mean, they're really intelligent people.
Totally. And I mean, without them, what are we? Nothing. It's as simple as that.
It's true. It's true. I never understood the game of, I'm a big head, so I'm more important than you. It's
Not at
I
all.
think it's a balance. You need fans, the fans need the band, and you give to each other. In a show, you saw that you have the energy like coming from the fans, and the
Totally.
fans your energy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm more than pleased to meet the fans, and I think times when I felt really crap is when you actually didn't have the time because you have to go to an airport and you just have to pass the fans outside a hotel to just go into a car. That feels bad. That's not fun at all, you know. And but most of the time, we I hang out with them, and some you becomes actually friend with the years.
And I think
So
that's why Tyrion has a huge follow up. The fans are dedicated. They're gonna buy
yeah, they are.
every record, and that's what I love. It's kind of metal fans are kind of geek in a way. With
Oh,
all the different
totally,
styles.
totally. Totally. And it's different to where you come. In Europe, they are in a certain way. In the United States, they are in a certain way. And in South America, they are very much in a certain way. And they are in South America, it's very important for them to put everything in small genres. That's not heavy metal. Yes, it is. No, it's heavy metal with Celtic inspirations. Yeah, but come on. It's metal. They're very categoric like that.
But it,
But
it,
for
it
me, for me,
yeah,
like everything that you see on a festival, you can see everything in the same festival from Venom to Pantera to Bon Jovi. It's a happy family.
I think
Now,
so.
yeah,
And it's not like back in the days when the 90s the scene was more commercial. Bands like Metallica and everything were on the radio non-stop, and
yeah,
it's a good thing. But when there's a lot of money involved, it kind of destroyed the beauty and the magic of it. And
yeah,
we're at kind of underground, but it's kind of bigger than ever. But you don't hear that on radio. It's like still hidden.
yeah, exactly. But amongst people, it is, yeah, big. It's almost mainstream, but in a good way, if you know what I mean. Now you disappeared, I think.
Oh, did I
Oh, now I
disappear?
hear you. Now I hear you.
I'm
Now I hear
back.
you. Now I see you. Yeah. Um,
You know, I was really surprised because the new album's gonna be out really soon, and I heard there's gonna be two follow-up of the record. So
it's
um,
true.
I'm like, do you sleep?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, but the thing is that when we're writing for the Leviathan album, we wrote so much that there's a bunch of you can only have one certain amount on a record. There's so much more songs that are just lying around. I wouldn't call them leftover because that sounds like they are not on the record because they are worse. It's not like that. It's because they didn't fit into this kind of style. You know, you want a certain pattern. But the next record is going to come out next year. That's the plan. And it's going to be a sort of a follow-up to this. It's maybe it's going to be called Leviathan 2. I don't know yet. But it will be a little darker, a little bit more melancholic. At least that's the plan.
I like it. I like it. Leviathan 2 would be a great follow, and it's kind of a trilogy, and I like it.
Yeah. Sort of Lord of the Rings. I hope it gets as popular as that. That would be cool.
We will try to do it as popular as that. It's such a weird time not playing, you know, releasing a record, not seeing the fan and everything. But in a way, there's way more people listening to music right now because they have more times. It helps people, you know, it's kind of a therapy right now to have great music and everything. So was it a hard choice to release it now? Was it something like maybe we should delay it, or it's something that you say, okay, we're going to release it no matter what?
We spoke about that, and we said we don't know how long time this bug will be ruling the world. So let's do it now and see what happens. You know, it was not more dramatic than that. And I really hope that this will go away soon, so we can come out and play. I can't wait. I even longing for airports. You know.
Yeah, I miss show too. It's a hard time for that, but I think it's gonna be crazy when things gonna start up again. It will be like people seeing their first show. You know, people go crazy.
Yeah, it will be mayhem in a beautiful way, I think. But I think that it will change the world, at least for the moment, when everything is free again. You know. And to hug a person, you know, I was actually watching AC/DC live from Argentina the other day on TV. It's a concert that I absolutely love, and I was seeing the packed crowd, and I automatically thought, COVID, you know, you're so brainwashed with that now. So how could people stand so close? Yeah, because that's what we are made for, you know.
Yeah, it's something that nobody could imagine like a year and a half ago. You know, even in January last year, it was impossible that there's no show, no contact, not seeing your family and everything. And I think in Quebec, it's in the same as Spain. Like everything is closed down. We cannot go outside at 8 p.m. to 5 a.m. It's if you do that, you're arrested. You got a ticket. So it's such a weird thing, you know, and people are kind of there's a negativity everywhere you go. You go to grocery shop and you see that in the face of people. So, but I think we're kind of the end of it, you know, with the vaccine and everything. I really hope it's get back really sooner than we think, but we really hope to have Therion, you know, in Quebec and in Canada, because, you know, there's so many fans out there waiting for you.
Yeah, I was thinking we were doing just before the pandemic we did a concert in Brazil.
Yes.
And we had layover in Toronto.
Wow.
For many hours, you know. So we went into town there and spent the whole day in Toronto. Well, it was freezing cold. And I wanted to go to the Toronto Maple Leafs garden, you know, because I'm a big hockey fan. But I couldn't find it. So we went to eat poutine instead.
Oh, yeah, Toronto poutine. Quebec is better in poutine.
Poutine, sorry. Yeah. Is it pronounced poutine?
Yes. It actually came from Quebec because the way we had the cheese rock, but it got exported everywhere in Canada. And I heard that there's some place in the States you can't find poutine, which is funny because the thing is that the rock cheese it don't melt when it's hot. So that's the
Yeah.
thing. That's the cool thing about it. But in the state, they don't have that. So it's hard to imagine, like, you know, the cheese
But
just melt with the sauces. But yeah, it's funny because it's kind of overrated here. We don't like that much poutine.
but
it's so
at least I tried. I had to go for it, you know.
yeah, because
You
you have
have you have one in Russia as well. He's called Vladimir Putin.
yeah, it's a more team than in Quebec. But yeah, it's
Yeah.
true. It's cold, but Toronto, it's a beautiful city. It's really green. There's a
Yeah.
lot of forest and a lot of green space there. It's really beautiful.
It feels very, very Sweden when you're when you're in Canada. Feels
I
very
think
similar.
there's a connection, between Sweden and Canadian. I don't know if it's because we're cold people and you have winter too, or I don't know. It's two different culture, but when we spoke to each other, there's always a connection.
Yeah, and that when you speak to when you speak to each other, we speak to each other. There is not really you don't think of that the person has another nationality at all. It's the same root, same base in both.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like we learn English because everybody outside Quebec speak English, but we're French, and you speak Sweden and learn English because in
Yeah,
Europe mainly a lot of people speak English.
true, true. Not here in
So,
Spain though.
but you got
I
great
struggle.
wine.
Pardon me?
You got great wine.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And it's an opportunity also to, it's good because then I have to learn the language. I learned a lot of Spanish now, so to get around. But their grammar is, it's
Yeah,
another,
me hablan un poquito español, me comprenda, understanda, but I'm not
pero
that
nada
good.
más. Uh,
Yeah.
it's the same level as me.
Thomas, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Congratulations
Very
with the
nice.
new record, Leviathan. It's a killer record. People gonna freak out on it. I'm sure the comments gonna be so positive. It's a great achievement again. I know you push yourself every time, but it's really working. And congratulations. Seriously, we can't wait to see you around Canada and Quebec. And when everything ends, make sure we have to shake hand and drink some beer or wine together. Because man,
You bet.
can't wait.
You bet. There is somebody
Yeah, that's my
behind.
little girl, my baby. I just
Okay.
have a 2 weeks
I was like,
baby.
really? Congratulations. That's so
Thank you.
cool.
A little metalhead is born.
Yeah, say hi to her from me.
I will. Thomas, thank you for your generosity and time. You're
Thank
amazing.
you.
And we're going to do a huge special on Therion on the show. Make sure I'm send all the detail to Kristen. And again, I repeat myself, people go grab bundle, their shirts, vinyl, CDs, everything. Go buy everything you can. And thank you, man.
Thank you. My pleasure. See you around.
See you around, Thomas. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Cheers.